Bootleg Cat, man, we here. Got my guy Omar Cruz in the building.
Yeah, what up, what up?
OG, I would say you were like I remember like, was it like, I would say 08, 09, 2010 era. Like, I remember the mixtapes were cracking. Like,
Yeah.
Out here in LA, you were one of the first Latino rappers, I feel like. Maybe the only Mexican rapper during that era that really got embraced. Like, when it came to like, kind of that like crazy mixtape era that was going on.
I appreciate that, man. Yeah, man. Look, it was definitely the time when the West Coast was building up for something special, and I was blessed to be able to be a part of that whole scene. I know you was talking about it with K-Boy not too long ago.
Yeah, because it was like Glasses Malone, Nip was around.
R.I.P.
A lot of guys were just kind of like bubbling. J-Rock, obviously.
That's my dude.
And you had a situation with Interscope, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah. I started out being signed to Ruthless Records. That was my first look.
Crazy.
Yeah, that was back. Before that.
What year?
God, I want to say that was like 2001 or 2. And nothing really happened. I kind of stayed on, just they never released really, I think, like a single or so. But then, I kept grinding out, trying to get my name out there. I linked up with a cat by the name of Lulu.
Yeah.
Luis Torres, and we started building. From there, we just started doing mixtapes, and we started hitting the mixtape scene really, really, really hard. Like, I mean, hitting the streets like to the point where we were just trying to be not just physically mixtapes, but also just being visible,
right?
Like the SRC street team kind of vibe.
Yeah, and I remember you had I feel like you had more than one with Ski, right?
Yeah, I had a couple with Ski. Yeah. Shouts out DJ Ski, man. He was instrumental in the come up. We were nominated the Crucifixion mixtape. I first dropped City of Gods. That was like my first big mixtape that kind of started circulating. After that, we hit up Blow. And at that time, I was Blunt Sly. It was my old moniker that I ended up switching up to Omar Cruz because I wanted to put more of myself into the music. Right. And the Crucifixion ended up being nominated for a Justo Mixtape Award.
Man, shout out to the Justo Mixtape Award.
R.I.P. Yeah, man. That was, and if you remember that was like a moment. That was like
that was a big deal.
That was an era for hip hop in general, because it was kind of uniting both coasts in terms of competition. In terms of, I mean, we got some of the most amazing hip hop moments. 50 was doing this thing. Game was doing
during that time, like when you were coming up, I felt like there was like a divide. Maybe not necessarily a divide, but I remember Nipsey was very vocal about like the lack of support from like the OGs in LA for what you would call at that time, I guess everybody was calling it New LA.
Yeah. And I try to stay out of that because I have my own battles to fight. I was a Latino,
right?
In a.
And you were like barring out. Like I feel like at that time, like to be like a Latino. Because if you think about 09, 2010, it's like, Little Rob's going crazy on the radio, MC Magic's going crazy on the radio, but like you were bringing something different to the table.
Yeah, it was a different energy, and it was something that I was bringing, exactly. I mean, especially from the west side of LA, it was a different representation, and once the Crucifixion started taking off, it was right around the same time we got, we met with Jimmy and Tom Panunzi over at Geffen Interscope, and we made that thing happen, and, we got signed at a time when Interscope was nothing but beasts on, the roster over there was just
fucking 50 Cent and
Dre
and Eminem,
Game,
Game.
I mean, it was saying, so to be a part of that as well, that wasn't easy. So I was fighting my own battles, just trying to get, pushing to get radio play and things, but that foundation in the mixtape scene was really what kind of got that kind of support to this day. I still got, shouts out to Cruz Nation, man. They've really followed me throughout the different stages of my career, and that loyalty and support that I've received allowed me to come back. During COVID, we actually started dropping the re-releasing those mixtapes on streams, and
I wish more artists would do that, man. Like put tapes out on DSPs and just
we did that. Shouts out to Empire. We were able to kind of like reignite that vibe, and I started kind of getting back into like dropping music and dropping a couple projects. I dropped one called The Last Temptation last year. just trying to feed the people, you know what I'm saying? Because there's still I feel like right now, especially we were talking about it before we got on how like there is a new appreciation for bars, for lyrics, for
sure. I feel like right
concepts.
now, yeah, I feel like that whole beef kind of kicked that off, honestly, in terms of people being like dissecting bars,
paying attention,
Yeah.
like I love those breakdowns when people break down the bars and
then
like
clips this year.
That's what we was talking about. Shouts out to the clips, man. I was telling you also off air that they were instrumental also in me coming up. They gave me some of my first big looks.
Right.
They brought us out to remember the dub shows?
Yeah, dub shows, man. Dub shows are cracking.
Yeah, they brought me on stage there, and shouts out Matt, shout out Push, man. Congratulations on the album. It's just been incredible what's been happening. Kendrick too, what's been happening. So that whole vibe of what's happening right now, I think, is a reason why people are kind of looking more for that content heavy, lyrics.
Right.
Especially with what's happening right now on the streets of Los Angeles and
for sure.
and AZ and all over the country.
Just all over the country with the ICE shit is crazy.
It's just wild, man.
Have you been hip to the Coyote Boys that are going out crazy out here? The two brothers from LA.
100%. Shouts out to the Yotes, man.
Yeah, they're going crazy.
They are. When I look to see who's doing shit and who I'm looking to see to make some noise, kind of doing the shit that I was doing, they're definitely continuing that lineage. You know what I'm saying? So shouts out to them for sure.
100%. Well, look, we're gonna have you do what you do, man. For people who want to find you online, and do you have anything you're working on right now?
Right now, I'm working on actually my first major debut. Major meaning like my official album that I never
because everything else has been mixtapes. You would consider
pretty much everything's been like street, independent release. I released singles with Interscope and Geffen and
right. But in terms
like
of
as far
full...
I really a full release.
Right.
So it's called The Passion of Omar Cruz, and that's what I'm working on now. But realistically, man, I'm just here to talk about. I'm here to get busy and to talk about what's happening on these streets.
Well, let's get to it, man. Put the headphones on. We're gonna play a beat, and we're gonna go crazy. Omar Cruz in the building, LA legend. Let's get right to it. Come on.
Latino stand up.
Yes, sir.
Omar Cruz. It's still BY. West Side. Yeah. Hey, yo, Kev. It's the battle of LA, my dog.
Yes, sir.
We on the front lines, homie.
Yes, sir.
Look. 5 a.m, I set my door. White Cortez gliding across the hardwood floor. Not to run away, but to grab my fofo. This LA, we ain't gon' take it no more. Hits, chinga tu mira. Been all that since way back when I used to rock filas. Nija, streets hot, keep a keen eye. Ponte pilas, my city charge the fuck up. We get real live and stand on it. Anyone cross it, even GIs. This is what it looks like when the body will realize. Latinos unidos, rifa, we fly. You raza, join the ice mines, won't smoke the pipa. Cause you getting stuck, homie, Filero is in my Levi's. 501s, water, you kicked over a beehive. Killer bees and seeds, 13 deep, you will find. Fighting on the same damn team. When they creep by, you ain't G-high. With your pool shicey gear on, use a bitch coward forever an enemiga. We rep the street vendors feeding our familias. You rep the offenders, what you hiding, mija? And when your tanks and guards all roll up, you gon' feel and understand LA don't give a fuck. 5 a.m, I set my dog. White Cortez gliding across the hardwood flow. Not to run away, but to grab my fofo. This LA, we ain't gon' take it no more. Hits, chinga tu mira. Been on that since way back when I used to rock filas. Nija, streets hot, keep a keen eye. Ponte pilas, my city charge the fuck up. We get real live and stand on it. Anyone cross it, even GIs. This is what it looks like when the body will realize. Look, they got you chasing your own for a buck. Now your own won't look at you much. Nah. Your own fam, they disown you now cause you's a bitch covered up in the truck. Your own kids, they gon' learn what daddy did. They gon' see when they all grown up. You sold your own people out and for what? Now you scared and you fresh out of luck, you dumb fuck. We alive and well, organized and we bringing them hell. Even if it means we gon' end up locked in a cell. It's Cruz, still BY, bitch. Woo! West Side, baby.
Come on.
Yeah, el pueblo unido jamás será vencido. Yeah.
Omar Cruz. Come on, man.
It's exclusive, man.
That was crazy.
Exclusive bootleg kid, baby.
Over the So Be It variation beat.
Shouts out
Come
Clips,
on.
baby. Shouts out Push, man. What up?
Come on. Fire.
Hey, appreciate you guys watching this freestyle. We got another one coming, and then another one, and then another one, and they're all brought to you by our good folks at LRG Clothing. You already know what it is. LRG been keeping you fly for years. They got so much new fly gear right now. L-R-G.com. Promo code Bootleg. When you check out, you'll save 30% off. L-R-G.com. Another freestyle's on the way, presented by LRG.